My mother had bought me a recorder for Christmas. Remember when you had to press play and record, the little portable cassette? And I pressed it on Christmas Day, and the first thing I recorded was Signifying Monkey, because I had been watching my father play it every Saturday night when him and his friends was over their house drinking. And it's all cussing. But I was like 10 and I memorized it. And I could sound like Rudy Ray More. Way down in the jungle deep, a signifying monkey never did sleep. You can go. And hysterical. It was the first comedy routine I learned. And I recorded it on the tape on Christmas Day. So, you know, we had to go to church Christmas morning. I recorded it as soon as I got it, because that's what I wanted. I used to play it in my room. So that evening, some women from the church came over. And my recorder was on the coffee table. And I went upstairs to get something, and I came downstairs, and I said, my mother say, and I bought Steve a recorder for Christmas. And I was at the steps, and I was looking down there. You know, I'm 10, and I'm, man, sure hope she don't press play. She said, let me see, cause what you do, you press play, and she hit play. And it said, way down in the jungle deep, signifying monkey never did sleep. And my mother said, oh my Lord. And she was trying to cut it off, but she didn't know how to cut it off. She pressed that button and went, Steve. But I'm right there on the steps looking at this. She said, your daddy done went up there to talk to his friends. When he come home, get in that room over there. Your daddy gonna beat your cussing like this. And it's Christmas, Jesus' birthday, and you just in here cussing. So my father came in and my mother said, Slick, your boy, look at what your boy did. And so she pressed play. But I sound so much like Rudy Ray More. He said, who did this? She said, your 10-year-old son did it. Just cussing like that. And where do you think he got it from, Slick? Because she used to play it in Parliament. So my father said, boy, get your coat on, you going with me. I said, man, I'm going somewhere to get my kid. So it was a gas station, a Sohio gas station on Lakeview. He played cards with his boys. He took me up to the gas station, took the recorder out the car, and said, man, y'all got to hear this. He pressed play. All his friends was laughing and was slapping fire. What's up, little man? So I was in that and I was gonna get a whooping. I was a hero. This boy, that little his friend was going, boy, you gonna be somebody one day. And that was it. My mother took me back home. He said, now when your mama asks you what happened, you got a whooping up at the gas station. Oh, we lying? Cool. I walked in, my mama said, what happened? I said, he went, I was acting my off. Had the bongos and everything. So I was beating on my little table. I played the bongos before it started and everything. It's by Rudy Ray More. You can't do it on TV. But that was my first comedy routine.